Leftist radicals have stolen our election. Big tech tyrants have censored our voices. And the CCP unleashed a virus to take over America and the world. But 80 million plus Americans won't back down. We won't relent, and we won't comply. Welcome to the Counterintelligence Center of America's Second Revolution. Here's your Director of Intel, America's favorite bald badass, Josh Bernstein.
Welcome back to the program. Anyone that has known me or has watched my show for some time would know that I am not a fan of organized labor and the labor unions in particular. I make no bones about it. I have spoken out considerably over the years against organized labor and the unions, all of the unions. I'm against all of them, and in particular, the teachers' unions. Now, what I want to talk about first and foremost is the NEA, the National Education Association, which is the largest teachers' union in the United States. They have completely, 100%, fully embraced the anti-white racist doctrine of critical race theory, and we'll get into that here in just a second. But before I get into the topic, what I want to discuss is the fact of a few factual points about the NEA in particular that maybe some of you don't know about. I have covered this extensively in the past. First and foremost, the NEA has 3 million members. It is the largest union in the United States. It is run almost exclusively, by the way, by female minorities. All right? Nothing wrong with that. That's fine. But these are folks that are on the very, very far left. They believe not in capitalism, but believe in socialism and progressive ideology. And of course, they all believe in teaching this revisionist history, this anti-white, horrible teachings of this critical race theory. Now, the folks that are in charge, Lily Echelin Garcia was the former president, Princess Moss, the secretary of the treasurer, and their newest militant leftist, who now runs the NEA, a black woman by the name of Rebecca Pringle. Now, here's again just a few facts of the NEA that most people don't know about, and these are the folks that are in charge of the curriculum for your children. So pay attention. The NEA supports extremist groups like BAMN, which is known as By Any Means Necessary. This is the radical group out of San Francisco and California and other areas around the country, led by Yvette Falarca is her name. She is a radical extremist teacher, and she's been in trouble with the law numerous times. She's been in trouble for, causing violent riots and things like that. She was also behind the Berkeley riots a few years back, and very, very far left person. She's now the head of this organization. Now, what she does is she finds teachers, believe it or not, she finds teachers to become teachers and part of the union. And these are radical left-leaning teachers that don't believe in capitalism, that don't believe in freedom of expression, that don't believe in anything other than the doctrine in which they want to discuss. Now, the NEA is also behind, again, this radical movement, but also the radical communist movements, because that's what they were, of Red for Ed. You may remember in states like Arizona, and they were popular in Texas and New Mexico and Ohio and Pennsylvania and Michigan and other places as well. These are all left-leaning organizations that want to push racial tensions and critical race theory. Now, here's the big kicker, and this is something that I covered many years ago that people don't remember or maybe they don't know about. The NEA is a supporter of the pedophile group, NAMBLA, which is known as what? The National Association of Man-Boy Love, I think, or something like that. Some kind of weird pedophile group that the NEA supports and, believe it or not, has sponsored trips for members of NAMBLA to go to their different organization, outings and, different areas around the country where they go and they have meetings and things like that. They've literally invited people from this NAMBLA organization. So those are just some of the things that folks probably don't even realize are behind the Marxist radicals that are in part of the curriculum in the United States of America. So the NEA just approved teaching of this hateful, racist rhetoric, CRT, in all 50 states and in 14,000 school districts. CRT, again, focuses on rewriting history, lying to the minority communities by claiming that somehow white supremacy has kept minorities back from achieving their goals, which is racist in and of itself to even say that. Bottom line is, Black Americans, Hispanic Americans, and all minorities of Americans have all had the same opportunities as white people. Okay? That's why we call this the United States of America. Okay? If anyone has been held down, it's because racist, white, for the most part, Democrats probably run your cities and probably run your school districts and probably run places like this, the NEA and others that are part of the curriculum. That's what's kept you down, not the fact that white people have done it. But that's what they teach. And of course, especially black people saying that they can't achieve what they want to achieve. Well, again, that's racist in and of itself. So these are the teachers. They teach all of this whites that hate blacks, which is not true. They even attack patriarchy. They attack ableism. And of course, behind this all is an anti-capitalistic move. They also teach forms of socialism and collectivism and progressivism and inclusionary type of stuff, which again is anti-capitalistic in its nature. So they want to teach BLM is good and that church-going Christians and people that abide by the rule of law and order are somehow the evil ones, right? Then they want to teach that those that love the American flag are actually the terrorists, but those that decide to burn the American flag are somehow heroes. And CRT at its core, again, is not only anti-American, but it's anti-capitalism. And that means that, of course, they promote socialism, collectivism, and some of those other ideologies. It is evil, and we're not going to stand for it. So not only do they want to teach this CRT garbage, okay, but now they want to target anyone and any individual or organization that speaks out against it. Well, you know what? Bring it on. Bring it on. Go ahead. I dare you. Bring it on. Because there's a lot of organizations in the United States of America, by the way, many of them run by women and also minorities, that are against this rhetoric and this anti-white hatred, okay? So I say bring it on. Now, here's what they said in their official statement. You ready for this? This is how radically extreme the NEA is. Quote, the NEA will do research on organizations and individuals that are attacking educators who promote CRT, and we will put together a list of those individuals and organizations and disseminate them to our members for opposition research, end quote. Well, hey, all I can say is bring it on, because I'm not going to shut up. I'm going to keep calling out you evil bastards every single day. You are not going to indoctrinate our children to hate white people, because that's what this CRT bullshit is all about. So, contact the National Education Association at 202-833-4000. 202-833-4000. I'll make a thumbnail of it so you'll see the number in the thumbnail. Also, reach out to at Becky Pringle, at, and then BECKYPRINGLE, at Becky Pringle. That is the president of the NEA. Reach out on her on Twitter. And if you really want to defeat these scumbags, become a member at momsforliberty.org. You may remember about a week and a half ago, I did a full story on this wonderful, amazing, patriotic group of women and men and grandmas and grandpas and everybody that is not going to sit back and accept the fact that they're teaching these new students to hate white people. We're supposed to be beyond racism, but the only people that are racist are the ones on the left. Those are the ones that want to divide Americans. Those are the ones that have the problem with race, not white people, okay? Last I checked, there was a black president, not one term, but two, okay? So join momsforliberty.org, FOR, and then liberty.org. And if you can't join it, start your own chapter in your own state. Be anti-CRT and let the NEA know that under no circumstances are you folks going to win in the battle of our curriculum for our kids. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Put them down in the comments below. We'll see you on the next one.